Pioneer Women's Varsity Lacrosse is live and on the air. We are live here at Hollway Field, where it is your Pioneer Women's Varsity Lacrosse team taking on Dexter today. As happy May 1st, May Day, everybody. Taking a look at Pioneer. Pioneer is now 2-8. They've won 2 out of their last 3 games. Their last game was back on the 29th. That was a loss to Father Gabriel Richard. That was 12-6. Father Gabriel Richard won that one. Pioneer won the 2 before that on the 20. Back on the that was on the 29th versus Father Gabriel Richard 26th. They played Bedford, at Bedford, and beat Bedford 9-6, and they beat Ann Arbor Huron over at Huron. That was a 16-2 win there. They had lost the 7 previous, starting off with the loss versus Seaholm 13-4. They lost to South Lyon on the 2nd, 20-2, lost to DeWitt on the 4th, 14-5, lost to Novi on the 9th, 10-8, lost to Matawan on the 11th, 9-7, and lost to Saline on the 17th. That was 10-9, really close game there. And then on the 19th, fell to Northville here at Hollway Field, 18-3. The next game is the Grosse Pointe South game on the 2nd has been canceled. So the next game is going to be away at Tecumseh on the 6th. That is a 5 p.m. game. We can't get ourselves over there by 5 to broadcast that game. But please get out there, check that out. Senior night will be on the 8th back here at Hollway Field. We'd love to see a full crowd here for senior night. That is a 6 p.m. game. They're back on the 13th at 6 p.m. versus Divine Child. Then their final regular season game is away at Eisenhower High School at 7 p.m. on the 14th. I can't believe we're already just a couple weeks to the end of the season. It has gone by incredibly quickly. Taking a look at Dexter. Dexter is 1-2 in the last 2 games. They're 1-5 in the last 5 games. They started off on the 3rd of April versus Salem. That was a loss, 22-10. They then beat St. Catherine's of Sarnia, Canadian high school. That was 17-3. Walled Lake Western was canceled. They beat Flint Powers 10-6. That was at home. Then they hosted Tecumseh and beat Tecumseh 9-1. They lost to Canton 6-4. That was back on the 19th of April. On the 22nd of April, they played Saline. Saline beat them 9-4. They did beat Bedford that at Alrit Stadium at the Dexter Stadium on the 24th. That was a 14-5 win versus Bedford. They fell to Howell. That was over at Howell 13-4. Howell, wonder if they were still playing at Parker Middle School. It's where they used to have the finals. Those have now been moved to the Michigan Lacrosse Stadium, which is excellent venue. And then they lost to Skyline. That was 20-7. That was back on the 29th of April. So 4-5 Dexter versus 2-6 Pioneer, both really looking for a big SEC win here to try and get things rolling towards the end of the season and have things clicking as they head into the playoffs. So let's play a few messages from the MHSA. Actually, first, let's mention all the wonderful sponsors of Pioneer Women's Lacrosse. Platinum sponsors includes Finn's Insurance Agency, at 209 Fitness, Crazy Wisdom Publications, Mance Lumber and Home, Capital Sales Company, and Sparrow Market. Gold sponsors include Whitcomb Farms LLC, Stadium Veterinary Services, Ann Arbor Rug and Carpet Cleaning, Pear, Sperling, Egan and Daniels, PLLC, Edwards and Chafe for Orthodontics, and Warren and Sherbaum, PLLC. Silver sponsors includes Orange Theory Fitness, Steve Service, Dexter Family Dentistry, the Athlete Brain Foundation, Holidays Restaurant, Felix Rudberg of Real Estate One, Mission Elite Fitness, Iridescent Cares LLC, Michigan Educational Credit Union, Ann Arbor Implant and Periodontic Center. Bronze sponsors includes Hesselberg Chiropractic, Stadium Market, Ann Arbor Teas, and Ann Arbor Smiles. We want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer Women's Lacrosse. Please support those folks who help support the team. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA and be right back. We'll turn things over to Mike G on the public address announcement right after Stick Checks.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA.
Between the visiting Dexter Dreadnoughts and the Ann Arbor Pioneers. And now let's meet our players. First, we're visiting Dexter Dreadnoughts. Introducing number 2, Grace McClellan. Number 3, Kendall Brown. Number 4, Madison Kruger. Number 5, Aiden Weinman. Number 6, Allison Sankamore. Number 7, Avery Scheib. Number 8, Marin Miller. Number 9, Olivia Krofchick. Number 10, Ella Rogalski. Number 11, Addison Zogabe. Number 12, Sophie Waits. Number 13, Daphne Grant. Number 15, Addison Allen Grubb. Number 16, Annabella Kopp. Number 17, Danica Dioria. Number 18, Marissa Skinner. Number 19, Zoe Rouser. Number 20, Isabella Sanders. 21, Emma Boyle. 22, Danielle Sherman. Number 23, Kylie Marcinowski. Number 25, Reagan Goldstein. Number 26, Grace Mendez. And number 27, Genevieve St. Charles. And now for the Ann Arbor Pioneers, introducing number 1, Ellie Malloy. Number 2, Megan Kolb. 3, Kate Nyman. Number 4, Maddie Doberstein. Number 5, Grace Grabowski. Number 6, Ann McGowan. 7, Adriana Kennedy. Number 8, Megan Edwards. Number 9, Sarah Huffman. Number 10, Lily Solden. Number 12, Nina Bonenberger. Number 13, Grace Otieno. Number 14, Lily Whitcomb. Number 15, Maggie Lamb. 16, Evie Lamb. Number 20, Victoria Jove. Number 21, Allie Rudberg. Number 33, Ann Coleman. Number 52, Lita Thomas. And finally, number 97, Isol Parr. The varsity head coach in her first season, please welcome Jacqueline Hibbs. Your assistant coaches are Claire Briglio, excuse me, and Amanda Morau. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your hats, and face the flag for our national anthem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
As we are about to get ready going here, 12 minutes up on the clock. So we've had our starting our lineups as well as the national anthem. Dexter is in their dark black jerseys, the away jerseys, black tops, black bottoms, numbers in white on the back, as well as should be on the front. Just give a moment there. Looks like they have Dexter and black lettering on the front. Pioneer in their home jerseys, they have the white tops, the black bottoms, numbers in dark on the front and on the back. Pioneer and black lettering across the front. Getting ready to go. Pioneer going from right to left here in this, the opening quarter, as Huffman goes down to our right. Looks like Malloy might be taking the draw. Solden to the right of the center circle. Grabowski to the left of the center circle. Malloy sets up to take the draw. Now coming in, Rogalski in to take the draw on the other side for Dexter. Scheib on the right. Can't quite get the number on the left there. All set for the draw. There's the whistle, pops up towards the right-hand side, trying to get it that back into the Pioneer defensive zone. Pulled by Malloy out of midair, still loose on the ground though now. Trying to get to it, that picked up, heading the other direction with it is Mendez. Just outside the 12-meter fan on the far wing. Flips that over to Rogalski. Rogalski trying to get inside the 8-meter arc. That knocked down, coming the other direction. Here comes Pioneer racing down the field, over midfield. Pioneer coming into the offensive zone, as I believe that's McGowan. It is. Gets inside the 8-meter arc. That fired, and that will go out the end line. That's going to stay Pioneer's ball. They were closest to it. Kennedy has it in along the end line, back behind the goal, trying to fire it out in front. Shot, and Grabowski, number 5, with the score for Pioneer.
Pioneer goal, scored by number 5, Grace Grabowski.
That at 11:09.
First quarter. That's goal by Pioneer from Grabowski at 11:09 of the first quarter.
So Pioneer goes up 1-0, just 51 seconds into the contest. Malloy again in to take the draw. On the other side is going to be Scheib. On the right-hand side. Picked up, high in the air, grabbed by Grabowski. Grabowski racing outside the hash marks, down the far wing. Gets into the offensive zone. Grabowski running outside the numbers. Heads towards the goal line, extended Grabowski. Goes underneath the goal line, extended Grabowski. Gets right back behind the goal from the far side to the near side. Cradles the ball there. Grabowski trying to fire it out in front. That knocked down, and that'll go out the end line. Pioneer with it. Grabowski in the far corner. Flips that over to Kennedy. Kennedy just to the near side behind the goal. Kennedy goes above the goal line, extended. Kennedy even with the goal. Fires that. Loose ball. Trying to rake it up is Scheib. Scheib has it down on the far wing. Scheib gets it. McGowan trying to separate her from the ball. Scheib running down outside the numbers, down the far sideline. Scheib has it over midfield. Scheib. Otieno trying to separate her from the ball. Scheib stops now, spins, trying to get into the offensive zone. That ball launched, picked up, as that is grabbed, coming down. Now it's loose, and Pioneer has it. Grabowski in her own defensive side sends it towards midfield. Trying to rake that up as Edwards has it. Edwards right over midfield, coming down the numbers on the near wing. Edwards into the offensive zone. Edwards just outside the hash marks, gets inside the 12-meter fan. That ball knocked away, but a whistle. That'll be a restart for Pioneer, as Edwards will get outside the 8-meter arc, as they're going to get her on the left center hash for the free position. As she looks in, Alan Grubb, the keeper, waiting for the whistle. Here comes the whistle. Edwards comes in. Edwards fires it. And that is a goal by number 8, Edwards.
Pioneer goal, scored by number 8, Megan Edwards.
Pioneer goes up 2-0 at 9:23. Edwards on the free position gets the goal. Pioneer up 2-0. So 2-0 Pioneer, 9:23 left to go. as that kicks off over to the near side, raked up there by Grabowski. Grabowski into the offensive zone. Grabowski races over outside the numbers on the near wing now, trying to head towards the goal. Even with the goal on the near wing, flips that back over to Solden. Solden comes Reven with the hash marks, now flips it between the hash marks over to Edwards. Edwards right at the 12-meter fan. Edwards gets inside the 8-meter arc. Edwards trying to come in. There's a whistle. That will be a free position for Pioneer. As they're going to get Edwards on the center hash of the 8-meter arc. Looking in at Alan Grubb. Edwards leans over. Scheib to her right. D'Oria to her left. Here comes Edwards. Edwards races in. Bounce shot that goes just wide to the left-hand side. And closest to it was Dexter on the run out. So Dexter has it back in their own defensive zone, trying to get it over to Alan Grubb. Kruger has it. Kruger running between the hash marks. Kruger racing. Gets it over the restraining line into the midfield area. Kruger gets over midfield. Dexter coming down. Kruger stops, lofts it over onto the near wing as that's raked up over by Krofchick. Krofchick, that knocked down, trying to pull it away as that got loose. Bonenberger was chasing it, but that pulled by Krofchick back underneath the goal line extended. Krofchick going from the near wing, stops on that near wing underneath the goal line extended. Now flips that over. On the far wing, shot out in front, trying to get to Weinman as Malloy knocks that away. Malloy had it, popped up, now grabbing it the other direction. Here comes Pioneer racing ahead with it. As coming ahead with that one is E.B. Lamb. E.B. Lamb into the offensive zone. E.B. Lamb flips that, trying to get to Maggie Lamb. Loose, trying to pull that over was D'Oria. It'll be a restart. D'Oria will have it on the far wing, just inside of her own defensive zone. Kennedy goes back behind her about 5 yards. D'Oria into the midfield area. That grabbed out of midair, racing down the other direction. Pioneer as Grabowski has it back into the offensive zone. Grabowski down the far hash marks. Grabowski now spins, gets inside that 8-meter arc, loose, flipped back. Maggie Lamb trying to get to it. Maggie Lamb has it. Right in along the 8-meter arc, Maggie Lamb flips it over onto the far wing, coming in McGowan. McGowan steps back outside the far hash marks, back over to Maggie Lamb. Maggie Lamb outside the 12-meter fan, moves it over to Solden. Solden between the hash marks. Solden looks over to her left. Now switches shoulders with the ball. Solden gets a running start, comes down the far wing. Solden with a shot and a score. 10. Solden puts it in for Pioneer.
Scored by number 10, Lily Solden.
So
Goal 6:21 of the first quarter.
Solden scores at 6:21. That makes it 3-0 Pioneer with the lead. Pioneer trying to win 3 out of the last 4 games. Dexter has lost 4 of the last 5. They're trying to kind of spin that and get things going back the winning way. Both these squads would like to get a couple big wins before the regular season ends just 2 weeks from now. Trying to grab it down is Scheib, trying to get it on the far sideline. Raked up is Edwards, has it. Edwards over to Malloy. Malloy just over midfield for Pioneer. Malloy heads towards the center of the field. Malloy racing between the hash marks. Malloy heads towards the offensive zone. Malloy steps over into the offensive zone. She'll restart. There was a whistle. She'll keep trucking, coming down the near wing. Malloy flips it, trying to get it. That tipped away. Trying to grab that, headed the other direction with it is Rogalski. Rogalski heading towards midfield. Rogalski down the numbers, over midfield. Rogalski lofts it into the offensive zone. That ball tipped, that will go all the way out. Bonenberger chasing it, it'll go out the end line. Depends on who they say touched it last. They'll say that was Dexter touched it last. So Bonenberger will have it in the defensive zone. 5:39 left to go here in the first. 3-0 Pioneer with the lead. Bonenberger spinning in their own defensive zone, trying to get away from pressure. Bonenberger lofts it and over to Edwards. Edwards between two defenders. Edwards gets over the 50. Edwards racing down the hash marks towards the offensive zone. Edwards into the offensive zone. Edwards trying to move it over to Maggie Lamb. Maggie Lamb has it as she goes underneath the goal line extended. Maggie Lamb going from the near side, stops, goes right behind the crease, trying to flip it out in front, trying to get the Whitcomb. Pulled away by Dexter. Now coming down the other direction with that is Miller. Miller has it into the midfield area. Miller coming down just inside the numbers. Otieno trying to knock that away. Whistle. That will be a restart by Dexter, as Miller will go back on the Dexter side of the 50-yard line. Timeout called, as we'll take it with them. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Lacrosse, brought to you by Arbor Broadcast.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
4:48 left to go here in the first. 3-0 Pioneer with the lead coming out of a timeout. Dexter has the ball, as they'll have it just over midfield. Is bringing it ahead is Miller. Miller fires it. That grabbed, is trying to get it. Rogalski moves it over onto the near wing. That raked up, spinning with it over there is Krofchik. Krofchik goes underneath the goal line extended. Moved over to Wild. Wild has it directly behind the goal. Wild coming over onto the far wing. Wild looks out in front. Wild trying to loft it out in front. That ball rolls towards the restraining line. As moving over, trying to rake it up is Kennedy. Kennedy pops it up high in the air. Kennedy trying to pull that away as that's grabbed the other direction by Sanders. Sanders back into the offensive zone for Dexter. Sanders gets it over to, pulled up, coming over is that's Rogalski. Rogalski working away around the 12-meter fan. Rogalski on the far hash marks. Rogalski switches shoulders, now spins back, moves that over as that's grabbed back there by Marcinowski. Marcinowski moves it over to Weinman. Weinman trying to make her way inside the 12-meter fan. Weinman now coming just inside the numbers on the near wing. Weinman trying to fire it out in front. That grabbed is Rogalski. Fires it. That goes wide just to the far side. Closest to it was Marcinowski. So that's going to be Dexter ball. 3:30 left to go. 3-0 Pioneer with the lead. Marcinowski has it launched over onto the near wing as Rogalski has it just underneath the goal line extended. Rogalski trying to get around Jof. That flip back over to Wyman. Wyman going from the near side to the far side, back behind the goal line extended. Wyman comes over the goal line extended. Whistle there as she will get set on the hanging hash on the left-hand side for a free position. Wyman. Wyman comes in, stops that, tipped away. As a good job back there by E.B. Lamb, but We'll say halo violation. That will be another free position. They'll get her on the first hash on the left-hand side. Weinman. Otieno to her right. Weinman coming in, stops, fires. Great save by Huffman. Battle there on the far side. That shot goes just wide. Wild trying to get it. Now that raked up by Edwards. Edwards in the far corner for Pioneer. Edwards coming down the far sideline outside the numbers. Edwards racing towards the restraining line. Gets into the midfield area. Contact there, but Edwards will restart. She'll have it just inside the midfield area on the far wing. Edwards racing down, trying to get towards midfield. Edwards over the 50-yard line. As that over on the far sideline to Thomas. That goes out the far sideline. That is going to be Dexter ball. As coming down the far sideline is Miller. Miller racing towards midfield. Miller over the 50-yard line. Miller trying to cut towards the numbers. Now gets inside the numbers into the offensive zone. Miller races between the hash marks into the 12-meter fan. Stops right around the 8-meter arc. Steps back on that bar wing. Moves it over to Scheib. Scheib comes down, racing right at the 8-meter arc on the near wing. Flips that over as Marcinowski gets it back right over to Scheib. Scheib on the near hash marks right at the 12-meter fan. That flipped back over Weinman between the hash marks. Weinman trying to work her way on the near hash marks. Weinman now going from the near side. Cuts, trying to get down the field. Moves it over onto the near wing to Marcinowski. Marcinowski just inside the numbers on the near wing. Flips that back over to Weinman. Weinman between the hash marks. Weinman trying to race ahead. Grabowski trying to stay in front of her. That shot goes high over the crossbar. Running it out was Dexter. They'll keep possession with 54 seconds left to go here in the first. 3-0 Pioneer with the lead. As Krofchik flips it over onto the far wing, trying to get in front. Rogalski with it. Rogalski spins with it. Rogalski coming between the hash marks. Shot. And that's going to be a score by number 10, Rogalski.
Dexter goal. Score by number 10, Ella Rogalski. Time goal.
And with 33 seconds left to go, that makes it 3-1. Pioneer with the 2-goal lead. Dexter happy to get on the board before the end of the period. Pioneer would love to see if they can answer back in a quick 33 seconds left. It was a 3-goal run to start off, the first for Pioneer. Malloy in for the draw. Inside the center circle. Popped up high, trying to get it is Weinman. Malloy races over onto the far wing. Malloy rakes it up. Malloy has it, heading down the far sideline. Malloy trying to get into the offensive zone. That tipped away, but Malloy will restart right at the restraining on Malloy. Into the offensive zone, Malloy coming down the hash marks. Gets between the hash marks. Malloy gets inside the 12-meter fan, inside the 8-meter arc, over on the near wing to Kennedy with a shot. That blocked away by Alan Grubb, loose on the near wing. Grabowski trying to get to it as that's plucked up, and that will do it. At the end of one, it is 3-1 Pioneer with the lead. We want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer Women's Lacrosse. That includes platinum sponsors Finn's Insurance Agency, at 209 Fitness, Crazy Wisdom Publications, Mann's Lumber and Home, Capital Sales Company, and Sparrow Market. Gold sponsors includes Whitcomb Farms, LLC, Stadium Veterinary Services, Ann Arbor Rug and Carpet Cleaning, Pear, Sperling, Egan Daniels, PLLC, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Warren and Sherbaum, PLLC. Silver sponsors includes Orange Theory Fitness, Steve Service, Dexter Family Dentistry, the Athlete Brain Foundation, Holidays Restaurant, Felix Rubberg of Real Estate One, Mission Elite Fitness, Iridescent Cares LLC, Michigan Educational Credit Union, Ann Arbor Implant and Periodontics Center, Hesselberg Chiropractic. Bronze sponsors includes Hesselberg Chiropractic, Stadium Market, Ann Arbor Teas, and Ann Arbor Smiles. As we are between the first and second period, let's play a little push on and get you ready for second period action.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
It's 3-1 at the end of one as we head into the second here. Pioneer Women's Varsity Lacrosse versus Dexter. Big SEC matchup between these two teams. Pioneer now switches directions and is going left to right as Huffman gets set up in the crease to our left. Alan Grubb runs down to our right. 12 minutes up on the clock. Malloy in to take the draw versus Weinman. Right in the middle of the center circle at the block ace. That ball over. Trying to grab it is Grabowski. Grabowski has it. Grabowski now switches directions. Grabowski heads over midfield. Grabowski between the hash marks, racing over towards the offensive zone. Grabowski flips it over to Solden. Solden gets inside the 8-meter arc. Solden over on the near wing. Solden, even with the goal, over on the near wing, gets it over to McGowan. McGowan right on the edge of the 8-meter arc, back over behind to Whitcomb. Whitcomb underneath the goal line extended. Moves that over as Maggie Lamb has it just underneath on the far wing. Over to Kennedy. Kennedy above the goal line extended on that far wing. Over to Grabowski. Grabowski few feet off of the 12-meter fan. Grabowski right on the far hash marks. She gets a running start, gets inside the 8-meter arc. Grabowski coming in, shot, and a goal. Grace Grabowski, number 5, scores for Pioneer.
Pioneer goal, scorer number 5, Grace Grabowski. Time of goal, 11:13 of the second quarter.
That is her
That's
second
goal
goal
by
of
Grabowski
the game.
at 1-1, 1-3.
And even a little quicker than her first goal. First goal she scored in the first at 11:09, 51 seconds in. This one she scored at 11:13. So just a little quicker there. 47 seconds in. Malloy set up versus Wyman in the center circle for the draw. There's the whistle, pops up high towards the right, trying to knock it down. That grab coming ahead with it. Grabowski again into the offensive zone. Grabowski gets inside the 8-meter fan. Shot that knocked down. Fired as getting the rebound was Grabowski. She quickly flipped it. That went out the end line. That will be Pioneer's ball as they were closest to it, running it out. So grabbing it back there. I believe that's Maggie Lamb with it, directly behind the goal. Maggie Lamb looking over to her left, flips that over to Whitcomb. Whitcomb gets it back to Maggie Lamb, directly behind the goal. Maggie Lamb looking out in front, looking to her left, gets it back over to Whitcomb. Whitcomb on the near wing. Whitcomb even with the goal, above the goal line extended, over to Grabowski. Grabowski just outside the hash marks on the near wing. Grabowski working her way around the 12-meter fan, trying to flip it over, trying to get it to Maggie Whitcomb, and that just a touch of a misconnection there, trying to get to it. Solden has it. Solden over the goal line extended, but a whistle blown by the official from the far side. 10-10 left to go here, 4-1. Pioneer with the lead here in the second. Looks like it's going to be a free position. Solden will have it on the hanging hash on the left-hand side. So Solden with the free position, leaning in, waiting for the whistle. Here comes Solden. Solden races in. There's a shot. Another save by Alan Grubb, stealing it away from Solden twice there. Alan Grubb has it, launches it over onto the near wing, trying to get it to Sanders. That poked by McGowan. Whitcomb there. Now that pulled back away. Heading the other direction with it is Scheib. Scheib heading outside the numbers towards midfield. Scheib gets over the 50-yard line. Scheib loses it on the near wing, gets it back into the offensive zone, but that raked up by Solden the other direction for Pioneer. Solden inside the numbers, gets over the 50. Solden racing between the hash marks into the offensive zone. Solden racing inside, gets inside the 8-meter arc. Solden shot and a score at 9:19. Number 10, Solden puts it in for Pioneer.
Pioneer goal, scorer number 10, Lily Solden.
That at 9:19.
Goal is scored at 9:19 of the second quarter.
That is Solden's second goal of the game. It is a 2-goal run by Pioneer to open up the second. They are up 5-1 with 9:19 left to go. Malloy has been very good in the draw inside of the center circle. She's in there versus Weinman again. Grabowski on the right-hand side of the center circle. Solden on the left-hand side of the center circle. Over on the defensive side, out there is Jof, Ali Rudberg, Bonenberger, as well as Ebilam. Ball set for the draw, popped up high towards the far side. Grabowski trying to get to it. That grabbed by Scheib. Scheib over on the far sideline. Scheib running down with it, gets it right over midfield. Scheib trying to rake it up. Scheib has it inside the offensive zone, loses it there, but she'll restart. Right at the restraining line. Scheib just inside the offensive zone, launches it, knocked down by Grabowski. Grabowski gets it out of midair. She launches it over to Solden. Solden gets into the midfield area. Solden running down the hash marks on the far wing over the 50. Solden heading down towards the offensive zone, steps over the restraining line. Solden now heads towards the 12-meter fan, launches it over on the near wing. Trying to rake that up is Doberstein. Doberstein over to Solden. Solden right on the near hash mark. Solden comes between the hash marks, flips that back over. Now Grabowski has it. Grabowski heading between the hash marks in. Bounce shot and in. Grabowski puts it just in underneath the crossbar, and it's a Pioneer goal. Grabowski's third of the game.
Grace Grabowski.
So if she has the hat trick, and at 8:21.
That's Pioneer goal by Solden. By Grace Grabowski.
8:21 left to go here in the second. 8-1. Pioneer with a 3-goal run, that gives them a 5-goal lead. Again, Malloy versus Weinman in the center circle. Solden on the left-hand side with Rogalski. Over on the right-hand side, that's going to be Maggie Lamb. Trying to take a look over there. I believe that's Grant over on the right-hand side. Ball set between Malloy and Weinman. There's a whistle popped up high just towards the left-hand side to head off a Malloy's cross, racing to get it. Malloy has it. Malloy coming down the numbers on the near wing. Malloy racing down, gets over the restraining line into the offensive zone. Malloy just outside the numbers on the near wing, heads towards the goal line, spins with it there. Malloy stops about 5 yards above the goal line extended. 8 minutes left to go here before halftime. 6-1 Pioneer with the lead. Solden launches it between the hash marks over to Doberstein. Doberstein over onto the far wing, over to Nyman. Nyman sends it to Kolb. Kolb just over the goal line extended on that far wing. Kolb sends it back behind. Grabbed by Kennedy. Kennedy plucks it out of midair. Kennedy underneath the goal line extended on that far wing. Kennedy now looking to her left. Flips that back over. Grabbed by Solden. Solden on the near wing underneath the goal line extended. Solden goes over the goal line extended on the near wing. Just even with the goal, now steps back underneath the goal line extended, waiting for Pioneer players to try and find a little bit of open space. Solden moves it back over to Kennedy. Kennedy back over to Solden on the near wing. Solden trying to fire it out in front, looking for Kolb. That ball raked up, coming in. Here comes Ali Rudberg with a shot, and that's saved by Alan Grubb. Coming in, here comes Solden. Solden onto the near wing. Solden fires that, and that's a score by Pioneer. Solden, number 10, puts it in.
Goal, number 10, Lily Solden.
That is her third goal of the game. She has a hat trick as well. 6:58 left to go here before halftime. 4-goal run by Pioneer to start off this second. They now have a 6-goal differential.
6:58 of the second half, or second quarter.
7-1 Pioneer with the lead. Weinman versus Malloy. Set up in the center circle, right at the blockades. Ball ready. There's the whistle popped up high towards the far side. Malloy trying to get to it. As now Maggie Lamb trying to rake that up. Still loose. There's going to be a illegal procedure that's going to go over to Dexter as they'll have it. Weinman coming down the hash marks. Weinman flips that over to Scheib. Scheib on the far sideline, keeps it in the far sideline. Scheib just outside the numbers. Now Ked's inside the numbers. Scheib trying to cut between the hash marks. Stops right on the far hash marks, walled off by Malloy. Now moved over. Rogalski on the far hash marks. Back over to Scheib, just even with the goal on the far wing. That's sent directly back behind the goal as Krofchik has it there. Krofchik side steps, now gets back behind the goal. Krofchik comes over onto the near wing. Fires that directly behind. Now trying to come above. Rogalski gets over the goal line extended. Rogalski with a shot. Great save back there by Huffman. Battle for it on the far wing. Bonenberger trying to get to it. There's a whistle. Bonenberger will have it as she'll try and get out of her own defensive zone. Bonenberger into the midfield area. Bonenberger coming down the near hash marks. Bonenberger gets over the midfield area. Bonenberger coming down towards the offensive zone. Spins there, knocked away. Bonenberger trying to get to it. Battle for it as it's right at her feet. Bonenberger into the offensive zone. Rakes it up on the near sideline. That popped away. That's going to be a restart by Bonenberger. She'll have it just inside the restraining line as she'll flip that over. Trying to get to Kennedy. Ground ball as that's raked up. Trying to come the other direction with it is D'Oria. Races over, gets it back into the midfield area. Now that contact, that is going to be a restart by D'Oria. D'Oria over the 50. D'Oria trying to come over. That knocked down by Malloy. Malloy trying to get to it. Malloy rakes it up, coming down the far sideline. Malloy gets back over the 50. Malloy continues to head just outside the numbers. Malloy into the offensive zone. 5:02 left to go before halftime. That ball over on the far wing. Raked up. Shot. As that one just goes off the side. Kolb with the shot. That grab by Alan Grubb. Alan Grubb over on the near wing. Alan Grubb gets it over to Grant. Grant trying to flip it over. As that's pulled ahead as racing down. Sanders gets into the midfield area. Sanders over the 50. Sanders spins with it. Kolb trying to block her off there. That gets over to Rogalski. Rogalski into the offensive zone. Rogalski on the far hash marks. Heads between the hash marks. Rogalski trying to work against Edwards. That pass on a hop. Raked up by Scheib. Scheib has it over on the far wing. There's a whistle. That's going to be a free position for Scheib. She's on the right center hash of the 8-meter arc. Hoffman calls out signals, gets her defense set the way she wants. Scheib coming in, shot, and a valiant attempt by Huffman, but Scheib scores. That's number 7 for Dexter.
Dexter goal scored by number 7, Avery Scheib.
So that stops a 4-goal run by Pioneer. As Dexter gets the goal and gets it back to a 5-goal differential at 3:58 left to go before halftime. 7-2, Pioneer with the lead. Malloy in to take the draw versus Weinman. Ball set, official steps away. There's the whistle, and they'll probably have to redraw that as it needs to go straight up above the heads. It can't go to either side. That one really didn't get up. It kind of seemed like it got caught between the crosses. So they'll get it set again. The official steps away. There's the whistle popped up straight up. At this point in time, trying to get to it is Weinman. Weinman snags it out of midair, heads down towards the left. Weinman into the offensive zone. Weinman between the hash marks. Weinman comes onto the far hash marks. Now comes back towards the center of the field. Weinman looks over to the left, right around the 12-meter fan. Weinman fires it over onto the far wing as Scheib flips that over. Now Rogalski goes underneath the goal line extended. Rogalski over to Wild. Wild underneath the goal line extended on the near wing. Wild cradling the ball. Wild trying to fire it out in front. That knocked down. Wild moves it over, trying to rake it up. Battle for it. Still trying to get it. Krofchek back there. As that ball loose, that's grabbed now coming in. Rogalski with it, working way around the 12-meter arc, or the 12-meter fan. Rogalski will restart right on the 12-meter fan between the hash marks. There's the whistle. Rogalski now cutting to her left, spins back Pops it up in the air, gets that over to Scheib. Scheib right at the 8-meter arc, flips that back over to Weinman. Weinman right outside the 12-meter fan, heads over to the far wing. Weinman trying to make her way inside. She's walled off there. Weinman steps back, working her way around the 12-meter fan. Stops there. Weinman looks to her right. Weinman now over to her left, flips that back over to Scheib. Scheib just inside the near hash mark. Scheib in there working against Bonenberger. Bonenberger trying to knock that away. They will blow a whistle. That will be Dexter ball with 2:17 left to go before halftime. Free position for Scheib again on that 12-meter fan as Scheib looks over to the left. Scheib rockets it over onto the near wing. Krofcheck with it. Krofcheck trying to put it in. Otieno with an excellent defensive play. Otieno knocking away that pass. Coming ahead with it is Grabowski. Grabowski down the near sideline. Grabowski into the midfield area over the 50. Grabowski just outside the numbers continues down into the offensive zone. Grabowski has it. 1:47 left to go before halftime. Grabowski gets it over to Edwards. Edwards racing just outside the hash marks on the near wing. Contact made. She goes down. There's going to be a whistle. Edwards will go and rake up that ball with 1 minute 39 seconds left to go. She'll have a free position right on the just outside the 12-meter fan. Spinning with it. Edwards moves it underneath the goal line extended. Raked up by Grabowski. Grabowski going from the near side to the far side underneath that goal line extended. Grabowski now on the far wing underneath the goal line extended. 1 minute 25 seconds left to go before halftime. Loose right in front of the crease. Thomas trying to get to it. Still loose on the ground. Trying to rake it up is Doberstein. Doberstein has it on the near wing. Doberstein flips that over to Edwards. Edwards now on the near hash marks. Edwards gets it over. Coming with it is Nineman. Nineman on the 8-meter arc. That shot plucked up by Alan Grubb. 1 minute left to go before halftime. Here comes Dexter as Alan Grubb gets outside of the crease. Alan Grubb between the hash marks heading down towards the restraining line. That launched over onto the near wing. Now ground ball, racing over to get it. Trying to grab it is E.B. Lamb. That goes out the near sideline. That's going to depend on who touched it last. 41 seconds left to go. That is going to be Jof with it. Pioneer ball. Grabowski into the offensive zone. Grabowski heads between the hash marks. Grabowski now works her way to the 12-meter fan. Grabowski stops there, looks to her left. Looking to get signals from the sideline. Grabowski heads over onto the far hash marks. 18 seconds left to go. Grabowski Pioneer playing for the last shot. Grabowski coming down the far hash mark. Stops there now. Stops, starts trying to get in. That ball knocked away. Ground ball right at the 8-meter arc. Trying to rake it up is Edwards. Edwards has it. Edwards coming down. Edwards fires it. That one just goes high over the crossbar. Out the far sideline, and that will do it for halftime. At the end of the first half, it is 7-2. Pioneer with the lead. They will have, as Pioneer Women's Lacrosse will honor teacher appreciation. So it will be teacher appreciation ceremony here. As the son of a teacher, I'm always very, very grateful for all the teachers out there that really affect our lives and have given us the platform for us to succeed. So we'll turn it over to the public address announcer here for the teacher appreciation as everyone comes out there. Let's play a quick push on before that.
Halftime, we ask our teachers and the students who invited them to meet at the end zone. Where we would like to recognize our amazing Ann Arbor Public School teachers in attendance. Our athletes have invited a teacher who has made a difference in their lives and are going to share with you why they were selected. When you hear your name, come out to the center field.
All the teachers getting set to be honored here as everyone gathering in the left-hand corner by the bell, and then they'll come out for the teacher appreciation.
George Lancaster was selected by Ellie Malloy. Ellie says, George has always been so helpful and encouraging. I love his class and all the work he's done to make everyone feel included in computer science. He doesn't just give us an answer or tell us to Google it, but explains everything and makes sure that we understand. He's also the best just to chat with about our lives and what's going on. Thank you so much for all you have done for us, George. Mr. Hart is escorted by Megan Kolb. Megan shares that Mr. Hart always makes an effort to know everyone in his class, even outside of school. He's always asking me about other events that I have going on that week, and I really appreciate him taking the time to get to know me outside of the classroom. Thank you, Mr. Hart. Ms. Cole has been invited by 4 different students: Grace Grabowski, Maddie Dauberstein, Lily Whitcomb, and Easel Park. Grace says, Ms. Cole is such an amazing teacher. I've loved having her class this year. Ms. Cole always makes sure that she asks about her students' lives beyond school, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, Ms. Cole, for all that you do. Happy Teacher Appreciation Day. From Maddie, Ms. Cole, I appreciate you for being so kind and understanding. At first, I didn't like your class, but then I got into the groove. Thanks for your help. I was able to understand calculus, and it made math much easier, and dare I say, fun. Thank you so much. Lily says, Mrs. Cole is always such a comforting part of Pioneer. Her classroom is a safe place for many students. She's the only math teacher that made me feel confident in class. Thank you, Mrs. Cole. And finally, Easel says, I chose Ms. Cole because I've had her as a teacher for 2 years, and she's been really patient when I need help with math. She's a kind and understanding person and is always supportive. Ann McGowan has invited Mr. Vess. She shares, Mr. Vess is so supportive and makes learning a new language really fun. I'm so happy that I get to have him as my teacher for the next 2 years. I can't wait for all the upcoming memories and especially the Paris trip. Parker Glushen is invited by Megan Edwards. Megan says, I chose Mr. Glushen and I've had him for 2 years and he's always made this class fun. He talks to his students and also lets me and Nora stop by his class whenever we just want to say hi. Mr. Coleman is being recognized by Lily Solden. Lily says, Mr. Coleman, thank you for making math fun and easier to understand. I appreciate all the extra work that you put in to help us succeed. I can tell you care about us, not only as students, but also as people. Thank you for being so great. Mr. Richards was invited by Nina Bonenberger. Nina shares, Mr. Richards is a spectacular ethics teacher. He nurtures meaningful discussions about intriguing topics. His philosophy class is the favorite class that I've ever taken. Emma Hamstra is being escorted by Maggie Lamb. Maggie shares that Emma is my English teacher, but also a huge inspiration to me in my athletic journey. When I do something on or off the field, I try to make sure that it's something that she would be proud of. I wanted to appreciate her tonight because she always pushes me to be better. E.B. Lamb has invited Marcy McCormick. E.B. says, Marcy McCormick was my science teacher for 2 years, and I loved her so much that I am a TA for her this year. I really enjoyed supporting her in her staff volleyball games. Marcy is a rare teacher that has been able to combine art and creativity with science. Thanks, Marcy. Mr. Bellers was invited by Victoria Joeth. She says, Mr. Bellers is probably the funniest teacher that I've ever had. He's always joking about something. He's really kind and open to all. I love sitting in his room in the morning before first hour. He always gives me a strong fist bump and a good attitude, even if he's having a hard day. I can always count on Mr. Bellers. Clifford Colford is being recognized by Allie Rutberg. I chose Clifford because I always look forward to going to his class. He makes the classroom fun and always allows us to be ourselves while teaching us about aspects of business. He has been one of my favorite teachers I've ever had, and the reason that I want to major in business in the future. Ann Coleman is recognizing Stephen Armstrong. Ann says, although his class has been one of the most difficult I've taken in my time at Pioneer, Mr. Armstrong was unbelievably patient for all the help I've needed. I don't think I could get through physics with any other teacher. I really appreciate all that he's done this year for me and all of his students. Grace Otieno is recognizing Mr. Hansen. Grace says that Mr. Hansen is a really fun math teacher. After feeling nervous to take calculus at the beginning of the school year, I quickly learned in his class that it was nothing to be afraid of. He makes the class easy to understand and adds frequent laughs so that everybody has a great time. Okay, and last but not least, our coaches. Coaches should never be overlooked as teachers. We honor and acknowledge the women who serve as our teacher coaches. And I believe Leda Thomas, Allie Rugby, and Grace Oliano are escorting coaches. Coach Amanda returned this year as assistant coach. She brings not just her experience helping organize the team, working the sidelines, and training the team for success. She's also a Pioneer High School lacrosse alumna. She has taught us how to give back to the team while balancing a budding career. Coach Claire just completed her first year of graduate school at U of M, where she also plays on the club lacrosse team. Her team earned the title of Midwest Lacrosse League Champions for 2024. This is Claire's first year as assistant coach for Pioneer Lacrosse, and whether she is demonstrating skills, helping to organize the team, or working the sidelines, she's taught the entire team how to balance a busy school life with being a dedicated coach and mentor. Finally, Coach Jacqueline Hibbs is completing her first year as our head coach for Pioneer Women's Lacrosse. She teaches fourth graders before racing out to our practices and games every day. Jacqueline came in with the experience and the coaching needed to lead our team as we work to become a strong and winning team, not only in our conference, but the region and eventually all of Michigan. Just like having a new teacher at the beginning of the school year, there were adjustments needed to adapt to a new coach. But what we have learned this year is extremely important in our athletic education, learning perseverance, positivity, and PLAX pride. Let's give these amazing individuals one more thank you and a round of applause.
as they're going to clear the field and start getting things going again here. We do want to thank all the wonderful sponsors of Pioneer Women's Lacrosse. That includes platinum sponsors, Finn's Insurance Agency, at 209 Fitness, Crazy Wisdom Publications, Man's Lumber and Home, Capital Sales Company, and Sparrow Market. Gold sponsors includes Whitcomb Farms, LLC, Stadium Veterinary Services, Ann Arbor Rug and Carpet Cleaning, Pear, Sperling, Egan, and Daniels, PLLC, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Warren Scherbaum, PLLC. Silver sponsors includes Orange Theory Fitness, Steve Service, Dexter Family Dentistry, the Athlete Brain Foundation, Holidays Restaurant, Felix Rudberg of Real Estate One, Mission Elite Fitness, Iridescent Cares LLC, Michigan Educational Credit Union, and Ann Arbor Implant and Periodontic Center. Bronze sponsors includes Hesselberg Chiropractic, Stadium Market, Ann Arbor Teas, and Ann Arbor Smiles. As we're about to get going, Dexter has gotten out onto the field as we're about to get the third going. 7-2 is the score going into the third. As there will be, by the way, just if you know, if Pioneer does get up to a 10-goal differential, if they double what they have right now, it will be a running clock situation, as the clock would run and stop only for timeouts and injuries. Don't know if we'll get there, but worth mentioning. Malloy in to take the draw. Pioneer going from right to left. I believe that's Weinman on the other side. Again, in the center circle. That pulled right out of midair by Solden. Solden racing down the hash marks on the near side. Solden into the offensive zone. Solden just outside the 12-meter fan. Flips it over on the near wing over to Maggie Lamb. Maggie Lamb looks in, now gets it back between the hash marks on the near hash marks over to Malloy. Malloy over back to Grabowski. Grabowski between the hash marks approaches the 12-meter fan. Grabowski looks to her right, now her left. Grabowski side steps over, now moves it back over to Solden. Solden rakes it up, has it on the near hash mark. Solden now comes right at the 12-meter fan into Grabowski. Grabowski with a shot, as there was a whistle before the score, and that looks like that's going to be a free position for Pioneer. Grabowski will be on the left center hash for the free position. As right back behind her is Deoria coming in. Shot and a score by Grabowski, as that is her fourth goal of the game. She started off the scoring in each of the periods. Grabowski scored in the first at 11:09, in the second at 11:13, this time at 11:09 as well. So she has 4 goals. Pioneer now has a 6-goal differential. Again, we want to thank all the wonderful, amazing teachers that were honored, as well as all the teachers that affect all of our lives. Thank you, teachers out there. We're very grateful. Malloy trying to rake it up. That grab loose. Weinman looked like she went to have it. That would be a halo violation. So Weinman heads into the offensive zone. Moves it over onto the near wing. Over to Scheib. Scheib heading down the near hash mark. Scheib trying to spin in front. Scheib at the shot that goes just to the near side. Getting a good piece of it was Huffman. But raked up coming over onto the near wing is Sherman. Sherman sends it back underneath over to Krofchik. Krofchik trying to move it out in front. That ground ball loose, raked up. Here comes Pioneer with it. Coming over onto the near wing is Grabowski. Grabowski trying to avoid pressure by Krofchik. Grabowski coming down the near hash marks. Grabowski back into the midfield area. Grabowski trying to blaze past Sherman. Now Grabowski over the 50, gets into the offensive zone. That moved over to Maggie Lamb. Maggie Lamb inside the 8-meter arc. Maggie Lamb coming in. Shot! And, that just goes to the near side. Good save by Alan Grubb. Alan Grubb for Dexter has it coming down the numbers on the near wing. Alan Grubb working her way towards the restraining line. Alan Grubb. Maggie Lamb coming over to provide pressure. That ball loose. Maggie Lamb rakes it up. Maggie Lamb coming in. Nobody in front of the goal. Maggie Lamb has that knocked away. That is going to be a whistle. That should be a free position for Pioneer. Alan Grubb just got back inside the crease before that free position. Maggie Lamb on the left center hash for that free position. Everyone else getting set. Waiting for the whistle. Here comes Maggie Lamb. Shot that save. Popped up high, back behind. Kennedy right close to it. We'll see. I think they're going to say Dexter was closer to it. So that will be Dexter ball as Sanders has it in along the end line. Sanders gets it over to Alan Grubb. Alan Grubb in her crease, but they're going to roll that back over. And no, that's going to be Pioneer ball. As in along the end line, Pioneer with it. Kennedy trying to fire it out in front. Over to Grabowski. Bounce shot. Good save by Alan Grubb as she knocked it over onto the near side. As Grabowski trying to get her 5th goal of the game. That launched ahead. Grabbing it is Wyman. Wyman in the midfield area between the hash marks. Wyman over the 50-yard line. Wyman heading down towards the offensive zone. Wyman gets into the offensive side, moves that over, that tipped away, ground ball, trying to rake it up is Solden, over onto the near wing. Solden has it for Pioneer into the midfield area. Solden coming down the numbers on the near wing. It's over the 50-yard line. Solden coming towards the offensive zone. Solden launches it over to Malloy on the near wing. Malloy inside the 12-meter fan. Malloy now even with the goal, underneath the goal line, extended on the near wing. Malloy just inside the end line over on the near wing, waiting for substitutions. Everyone, Bonenberger running off. Substitutions coming in. As E.B. Lamb out there. Shot again. A good save by Alan Grubb. She has had a couple nifty saves in a row. Coming ahead with it is Kruger. Kruger down the near sideline. Kruger gets over the 50-yard line. Down the number is Kruger. Heading towards the offensive zone. Swim move. That ball loose. Solden gets it. Solden right in the midfield area. Flips that over. Now Allie Rudberg over midfield. Allie Rudberg running down the hash marks on the near wing. She'll keep on trucking on the restart. Allie Rudberg between the hash marks. That's going to be a restart as that was knocked away by Scheib. I believe got a piece of the hand. So it's going to be a restart here for Pioneer. Allie Rudberg will have it. Just outside the 12-meter fan by about 5 yards. Allie Rudberg now cutting that ball loose. Raking it up is Coleman. Coleman trying to get to it. And over on the near wing pulling it away is Krofchick. Krofchick trying to flip it over to Alan Grubb. Alan Grubb in her crease. 7-11 left to go here. In the third, 8-2. Pioneer with the lead. Ball on the near wing. Raking up is Krofchick. Krofchick coming down the near sideline. Krofchick gets into the midfield area. Launches it ahead on a hop. Trying to get to it is Sherman. Now that raked up back behind. Still trying to get to it. Otieno has it. Otieno coming the other direction for Pioneer. That tipped away. Otieno trying to get to it before Rogalski. Now Rogalski has it. Otieno providing pressure coming down. Even with the goal on that far wing. Now that goes back behind. The goal line extended. Rogalski getting over the goal line extended. Rogalski up ahead. That knocked away. E.B. Lamb with it. E.B. Lamb heading the other direction for Pioneer. E.B. Lamb trying to spin between a couple defenders. E.B. Lamb will restart on the far wing. E.B. Lamb into the midfield area. Racing down the far sideline. E.B. Lamb puts on the Jets over the 50. E.B. Lamb still coming down. Trying to get over into the offensive zone. Ground ball. E.B. Lamb trying to rake it up. She's trying to get it on a hop. That goes. Even with the goal line extended back behind. With it is that grab by Kolb. Kolb over to Thomas on the near wing. Thomas over the goal line extended. Trying to get it back over to McGowan. McGowan battling with it. Ground ball on the near wing. That kicked back by Kruger into the crease to Alan Grubb. Alan Grubb has it just outside her crease on the far wing. Alan Grubb between the hash marks for Dexter. 5:45 left to go here in the third. 8-2. Pioneer with the lead. Alan Grubb still with it on the near hash marks as she heads towards midfield, launches it down. That grabbed, coming ahead with it is Sanders. Sanders into the midfield area, outside the numbers, over the 50. Sanders loses the ball. That right on the sideline, trying to get to it is Doberstein. Doberstein and Sanders with it. That raked up, coming ahead with it as that's Rogalski. Rogalski on the numbers on the far wing. Otieno tries to pick her up as she gets inside the 8-meter arc. As Rogalski over on the near hash marks, flips that over. Scheib with it on the near hash marks, right outside the 12-meter fan. Scheib heads towards the crease, shoots, and Scheib puts it in. Number 7 for Dexter.
Dexter goals from the number 7, Avery Scheib. Counted goal 4:59 of the third quarter. That's goal by Scheib at 4 minutes and 59 seconds.
That is her second goal of the game. Stops a 1-goal run by Pioneer. Only 2 goals in this period thus far. 4:59 left to go here. In the third, 8-3, Pioneer with the 5-goal differential. 5-goal lead. Edwards on the right-hand side of the center circle. Malloy comes in to take the draw. Weinman going to join her. Over on the left-hand side of the center circle is Allie Rudberg. Ball set between Weinman and Malloy. Popped up, trying to get to it. Malloy trying to get it on a hop, trying to get around the official. Malloy has it over midfield, coming down the far sideline. Malloy trying to get around Croft. Check Malloy. It's into the offensive zone. Malloy continues to come down the numbers on the far wing. Malloy stops just above the goal line extended, now goes underneath the goal line extended. Malloy, now that tipped away by Croft. Check, that'll go out the end line. Pioneer with it, I believe. Nope, they're going to say Dexter ball. 4:30 left to go here. In the third, 8-3, Dexter down 5 goals, but with the ball. Allie Grubb has it. The keeper comes outside of her crease. Allie Grubb launches it down the near wing, knocked away. Good job racing in front. As that was an excellent job by Thomas, but plucked up there, coming the other direction. Sanders down just outside the numbers on the near wing. Sanders into the offensive zone. Sanders flips that over, gets it over to McClellan. McClellan on the near wing, watched by Otieno. McClellan moves it over onto the near wing, over to Sherman. Sherman just over the goal line extended, flips it back over. Now that grab by Weinman. Weinman just inside the numbers on the near wing. Weinman moves it over as Rogalski with the shot that knocked down, but a whistle. Looks like it's going to be a free position as Rogalski will have it on the left center hash. 3:22 left to go here. Rogalski with the blast and puts it in. Number 10, Rogalski for Dexter, gets a 2-goal run by Dexter, their first of the game. And at 3:19, it's down to a 4-goal differential. Timeout called. As I believe Pioneer wants to talk things over, we'll play a little bit of push on, and we'll be right back.
Timeout on the field. Our varsity.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
3:19 left to go here in the third. 8-4. Dexter has a 2-goal run to cut it down to a 4-goal differential. Pioneer talking things over as they want to make sure that they get this win, as they had up to a 6-goal differential, but Dexter has brought that back. As the officials talking things over now, Dexter breaks the huddle, heads out onto the field. As they break the huddle, again, Pioneer going from right to left here in this third period. Malloy in to take the draw. Grabowski On the left was Scheib, now quickly racing in. I didn't see who that was. One of the Dexter players quickly raced in to take the draw. See if we can get your name in a moment. I believe that's Rogalski with it. Yep, that's Rogalski on the other side of the draw. Ball set as we're getting ready to go here. Back after the timeout. Ground ball loose on the near wing, trying to rake it up as Grabowski has it. That is going to be Pioneer ball. Grabowski racing down the near wing. Grabowski gets over the restraining line into the offensive zone. Grabowski has it just outside the numbers on the near wing. Grabowski flips that over to Solden. Solden just inside the numbers on the near wing. Solden on the near hash marks. Moves it between the hash marks over to Maggie Lamb. Maggie Lamb just outside the 12-meter fan. Now moves it over onto the far wing over to Edwards. Edwards gets it over to McGowan just inside the numbers on the far wing. McGowan back over to Grabowski between the hash marks. Ground ball. Grabowski rakes it up. Grabowski just inside the near hash marks. Grabowski calmly walks towards the 12-meter fan. Grabowski now takes a step back, looks over to her left. Grabowski now heads towards the 12-meter fan, cuts to the left. Grabowski launches it up high, trying to get it to Solden, grabbed by Kennedy. Kennedy between the hash marks, comes back outside the 12-meter fan. Kennedy on that far wing. Kennedy stutter steps, now trying to fire it in the middle. That knocked away, grabbed. Dexter heading the other direction, as getting her stick in the way was D'Oria. D'Oria will have it back in the defensive zone. 2 minutes left to go here in the third. 8-4, Pioneer with the lead. D'Oria brings it as that's launched all the way down into the offensive zone for Dexter. Racing ahead, trying to get to it is Marcinowski. Marcinowski gets it. McGowan right on top of Marcinowski. Marcinowski on the far sideline. Marcinowski trying to head back. Just inside the numbers, Marcinowski now flips that over as Scheib with it between the hash marks. Scheib gets a screen from Krofcheck. Scheib trying to get inside as Malloy trying to knock that away. That looks like that's going to be a free position, as Scheib will have it on the right center hash. 1 minute, 13 seconds left to go. No, they'll bring her back outside the 12-meter fan. Now Scheib now steps back, loses it, but gets it back. Scheib on the near wing. Scheib flips that over to Krofcheck. Krofcheck sends it underneath the goal line, extended back behind over to Sherman. Sherman going from the near side, right back behind, flips that over on the near wing to Wild. Wild goes back behind the goal from the near side to the far side. Wild trying to get above the goal line, extended. That launched all the way towards midfield. Raked up back there by Rogalski. Rogalski running outside the hash marks on the far wing. Rogalski. Bonenberger gets in front of her. Rogalski trying to get between the defenders. Rogalski launches it back. Now trying to come in with it is Krofcheck. Krofcheck loses the ball, but a whistle with 20 seconds left to go. That's going to be a free position. Krofcheck on the left center hash. Grabowski to her right. McGowan goes over to the left. As coming in, Krofcheck. That one just goes wide to the left-hand side. 5 seconds left. That plucked up by McGowan. McGowan coming down the far sideline. McGowan, that will do it for the third. At the end of 3, it is 8-4 as we head into the fourth quarter. So let's play a couple messages from the MHSAA.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we're heading into the fourth, as Malloy heads out to take the draw, 8-4 Pioneer with a 4-goal differential, but Dexter with a 2-goal run heading into the fourth. 12 minutes up on the clock as we are getting prepared for the final stanza, at least in regulation of this game. Rogalski in to take the draw on the other side of Malloy. As the official heads towards between the players to get the ball set. Grabowski on the right-hand side with Scheib. On the left-hand side is Solden. Looks like Krofchek over there with her. Ball set between the crosses. The official steps back. There's the whistle, pops up towards the left. That's grabbed. Scheib heading down just inside the hash mark. Scheib into the offensive zone. Scheib gets between the hash marks. Scheib heads down the far hash marks over onto the far wing. Scheib being watched by Solden. Just inside the numbers on the far wing. Scheib now launches it even with the goal on that far wing over to Krofchek. Krofchek trying to head inside, flips it directly behind the goal over to Sherman. Now Wild has it. Wild just underneath the goal line, extended on the near wing. Wild, Otieno picks her up. Wild, even with the goal, now trying to launch it out in front. Great job to get across out in front by Bottenberger. As that ball grabbed, though, by Dexter. Rogalski has it just underneath the goal line, extended on the far wing. Rogalski goes back behind the goal over onto the near wing, over to Wild. Wild trying to launch it out in front. Great job by E.B. Lamb to get in the way. E.B. Lamb rakes it up. Beautiful defense there. E.B. Lamb launches it forward down the near wing as that bounces into the midfield area. As raking it up, coming down. Here comes Maggie Lamb. Maggie Lamb on the near sideline. Maggie Lamb. She'll restart after contact from Dexter. Maggie Lamb into the offensive zone. Gets inside the numbers. Maggie Lamb comes down the near hash marks underneath the goal line extended. Maggie Lamb now calmly right back behind the goal underneath that goal line extended. 10:37 left to go here in the fourth. 8-4 Pioneer with the lead. Maggie Lamb looking to her left, launches it over to Whitcomb. Whitcomb has it just inside the end line. Whitcomb fires it out in front. There's a shot by Grabowski. Grabowski puts it in. Whitcomb with the assist. So number 5 Grabowski, number 14 Whitcomb, and Pioneer back up to a 5-goal lead.
Number 5, Grace Grabowski. Assisted on the assist was Lily Whitcomb, number 14.
10:23 left to go here in the fourth.
From Whitcomb. Time to goal, 10:23 of the fourth.
9-4 Pioneer with the lead. Malloy in versus Rogalski. All set. There's the whistle popped up, trying to get it. Malloy over on the near wing. as that will be Pioneer ball. Malloy races down the numbers on the near wing into the offensive zone. Malloy stops, spins with it. Malloy right on the restraining line, flips that over, grabbing it, coming down with it. McGowan working her way inside the 8-meter arc. McGowan now moves it underneath the goal line extended over to Whitcomb. Trying to fire it. Is that grabbed by Allen? Grabbed by Allen Grubb now over on the near wing. Coming ahead with it, racing with it is Grant. Grant into the midfield area. Grant loses the ball on the shot. Ground ball raked up by Grabowski. Here comes Pioneer down the numbers on the far wing. 9:38 left to go. Into the offensive zone goes Grabowski. Grabowski has it. That flipped over to Solden. Solden on the hash marks. Gets inside the hash marks. Solden just outside the 12-meter fan. Over to Edwards. Edwards over to McGowan. McGowan gets it over to Kennedy. Kennedy back underneath, back behind Whitcomb. Launches it. Maggie Lamb has it directly behind the goal. Maggie Lamb underneath the goal line extended, moves it over, grabbed by Grabowski. Grabowski just outside the hash marks. Eve went to go on the far wing. Grabowski. And over to Solden. Solden just outside the 12-meter fan on those far hash marks. Solden now trying to come in. Solden races in. She's rebuffed. 2 players in front of her. Launches that over. Ground ball. Raking it up is Kennedy. Popped up high. Kennedy has it. Grabbed it out of midair. Kennedy coming down the far wing. Kennedy gets underneath the goal line extended on the far wing. Kennedy stops right back behind the goal. Kennedy flip spots with Whitcomb. 8:30 left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer up 9-4. Kennedy directly behind the goal, underneath the goal line extended. Kennedy moves it over to Whitcomb. Whitcomb even with the goal on the near wing, back over to Kennedy directly behind the goal. Kennedy even with the goal on the far wing, now steps back. Kennedy over to Whitcomb. Whitcomb comes above the goal line, extended on the near wing, lofts it back over to Kennedy. That just out of her reach. That will be Dexter ball with 8 minutes left here in the fourth. 9-4, Pioneer with the lead, but Dexter has in their own defensive zone. Trying to bring it ahead. Back there is Grant. Whistle. Grant will restart on the far sideline. Grant and Kennedy battling there. Grant moves outside of the defensive zone into midfield area. Grant trying to get to the 50-yard line. That on a bounce. Flipped over to Kruger. Kruger into the offensive zone. Kruger running down the numbers on the far wing. Kruger tries to angle in. Kruger gets inside the 8-meter arc. Shot, but a whistle beforehand. Contact made. So the goal does not count. The whistle before it. We will probably have a free position, I would assume, here, as that's going to be moved over onto they'll get a new ball for Kruger. That rolled all the way over to the sideline. Wanted to run away. We'll get that back into Kruger. Kruger looks like she's going to be on the hanging hash on the right-hand side of the 8-meter arc. Hoffman set up in the crease. Here comes Kruger. Kruger lofts it back over. That grab by Scheib. Scheib steps back outside the 12-meter fan, calling out signals. Scheib sidestepping outside the far hash mark. Scheib now heads back inside the far hash marks. Looks to her left, moves it over. As Rogalski calling out signals. Rogalski moves it over to Kravchuk. Kravchuk again outside the 12-meter fan in that between the hash marks. Kravchuk trying to get it. That bounced down. Malloy had it, but that plucked out midair by Kravchuk. Now moved over, trying to get out in front. Rogalski directly behind the goal. Rogalski comes over above the goal line, extended on the near wing, trying to make her way into the crease. That knocked away by Huffman, raked up. Here comes Grabowski. Grabowski for Pioneer coming down the far wing, outside the numbers, down the far sideline. Grabowski launches it ahead. That grab by McGowan. McGowan heads over the 50-yard line. McGowan still outside the numbers. That tipped away, but that will be a restart as Scheib got that. Here comes McGowan. McGowan races right to the restraining line, flips that over onto the far wing, gets it back over to Grabowski outside the numbers in the offensive zone. 5:50 left to go here in the fourth. 9-4. Pioneer with the lead. Grabowski has it outside the numbers, gets it over to Solden. Solden just inside the numbers on the far wing. Now heads between the hash marks. Solden about 5 yards outside the 12-meter fan over to Edwards. Edwards comes between the hash marks. Edwards now flips it back over to Grabowski. Grabowski again back about 5 yards outside the 12-meter fan. Grabowski over to Solden between the hash marks. Solden Stutter steps. Solden steps up to the 12-meter fan. Solden looks to her left and her right. In no hurry. 5:15 left to go. Now Grabowski trying to get it over to Coleman. That ball loose. Kruger trying to get to it. Kennedy trying to nail it down. Now Coleman rakes it up on the far sideline. That goes out. It will depend on who touched it last, as that's going to be Pioneer's ball. Just under 5 minutes here. 9-4 Pioneer with the lead. That launched all the way back. Grabbed by Grabowski. Grabowski outside the numbers. Scheib comes over to watch her. That flipped back over to Solden. Solden approaches the near hash marks on the near wing. Solden trying to get around Miller. Solden lofts it over onto the near wing to Edwards. Edwards on the near hash marks. Edwards racing down the near wing. Edwards, contact made. They're going to put Edwards on the first hash on that timeout called. 4:23 left to go. We'll take that timeout with them. As with 4:23 left to go here in the fourth, it is 9-4 Pioneer with the lead.
Students would like to wear the school uniform.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
One score to report here from Pioneer Baseball, as they had a game versus Lincoln. They beat Lincoln in a rainy doubleheader on Monday in both games. Lincoln beat Pioneer at Lincoln 6-5. So tight game there. 4:23 left to go here at Hollway Field between Pioneer and Dexter. Big rivals in the SEC, huge field hockey foes. These two teams have battled back and forth in field hockey many, many times. It is a really gorgeous day, 74 degrees out. Blue skies first. I don't know where spring went, but boy, it seems like we're midsummer now. Pioneer will have it over on the near wing. Coleman underneath the goal line extended. Coleman floats that over. Grabbed by Thomas. Thomas directly behind the goal. Thomas comes over onto the far wing. 4:14 left to go. Allie Rudberg trying to get to it now. Grabowski trying to rake that up, but that's going to be Dexter ball as grabbing at Grant. Grant quickly flows it ahead over to Scheib. Scheib moves over midfield. Scheib coming down the numbers on the far wing. Scheib races into the offensive zone. Scheib cuts outside the hash marks on the far wing. Scheib cuts inside the 8-meter arc. Scheib launches it back over, trying to get it. Plucked up by Miller. Miller over onto the far wing to Rogalski. Rogalski between the hash marks, spinning right at the 12-meter or right at the 8-meter arc. A whistle that's going to put a free position for Rogalski over on the left center hash with 3:30 left to go. Rogalski now with a shot. That one just goes wide to the far side. Closest to it was Krofchick. That will stay Dexter ball with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. 9-4. Pioneer with the 5-goal lead. Dexter has it in along the end line. Krofchick coming over to the near side. Otieno picks her up there. Krofchick launches it back over, trying to get between. There's a shot and a goal by number 10, Rogalski.
Pioneer goal.
A Dexter goal.
10. Dexter goal scored by number 10, Ella Rogalski.
So that makes it a four-goal lead, as it's 9-5 So a 4-goal lead by Pioneer with 3:05 left to go. As right for the draw, that's going to be Scheib in there versus Malloy in the center circle. Ball set. There is the whistle popped up as ground ball trying to rake it up right at midfield, knocked away, but that looks like it's going to be Krofchik's ball as Dexter will have it with 2 minutes and 52 seconds left to go here in the fourth. Pioneer with a 4-goal lead, but Dexter with the ball right at midfield. Krofchik starts off there. Cuts on the near hash marks, flips it over ahead to Miller. Miller gets inside the offensive zone. Miller over to Rogalski. Rogalski inside the 8-meter arc. Rogalski. As right in front of her was Otieno and Malloy. Malloy has to go back behind her. On the right center hash is Rogalski. Shot, good save by Huffman. That ball comes over on the far sideline. Closest to it over there was Rosser. So that's going to stay Dexter ball with 2 minutes, 9 seconds left to go. Ground ball over on the far wing. Scheib has it. Scheib trying to get between the hash marks. That's launched back. Ground ball raked up. As with it back over there, Rogalski with it. Rogalski outside the hash marks on the near wing. Rogalski goes underneath the goal line extended. Rogalski trying to come inside the hash marks. Now rebuffed. She's walled off. Rogalski comes back, gets between the hash marks. Rogalski's shot. She scores with 1 minute 37 seconds left. 2-goal run by Dexter. Number 10, Rogalski, puts it in with 1:37.
Time goal 1:37 of the fourth quarter. That's goal by Rogalski at 1:37.
So it is 9-6, 3-goal lead by Pioneer. Trying to hang on here with a furious Dexter push at the end. Since halftime, Pioneer has scored twice. Dexter has scored 4 times. Twice in the third, twice in the fourth. Malloy in to try and get this very, very important draw. Pioneer would love to get possession and just kill out the time. As they're going to have to redraw that. Again, it didn't go above. It has to go straight up above the heads. They'll get that set again. 1:35 left, 9-6. Pioneer with the lead. Ball set between the crosses. Steps back. Waiting for the whistle. They have to adjust it a little bit. That popped up over, ground ball over onto the near wing. Dexter has it, coming ahead with it is Krofchik. Krofchik between the hash marks. Krofchik inside the 12-meter fan. Krofchik floats it over onto the far wing, racing over, trying to get to it. That is going to be Pioneer ball as Dexter had it. Here comes Pioneer down the far sideline, racing ahead with it. Coming ahead over into the midfield area is Bonenberger. Bonenberger got all the way almost to midfield before a whistle. As Bonenberger will restart right on that far sideline, launches it back to Grabowski. Grabowski over midfield. Grabowski coming down the far sideline. Grabowski into the offensive zone. 55 seconds left to go. Pioneer up by 3 with the ball in the offensive zone. And it's going to be a restart for Grabowski on the far sideline. Grabowski into the far corner, trying to get away from Krofchik. Grabowski now coming down the end line. Grabowski heads from the far side to the near side, back behind the goal. 38 seconds left to go. Grabowski into the near corner, switches shoulders. Grabowski, 30 seconds left to go. Grabowski still underneath the goal line extended on the near wing, puts on the Jets, gets above the goal line extended. Grabowski on the near sideline, 20 seconds left to go. Grabowski looks to her left, launches it over there. That grabbed as Solden has it. 14 seconds left to go. Solden back into the midfield area. Solden with it. 10 seconds left to go. Ground ball into the offensive zone. 7 seconds left to go. Dexter has it. Kruger trying to launch it ahead. The ball goes out the near sideline. Pioneer ball, and that will do it. The game has ended. Pioneer wins 9-6 for their third win of the season. 3 in the last 4. They will be in action next, as Pioneer will be, Grosse Pointe South game has been canceled, so they will be in action May 6th at Tecumseh. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very much for your support of either of these two teams. We're very grateful. Have a wonderful evening, and we will be back with Pioneer women's soccer tomorrow.
And Pioneer High School in a